Hey everybody, I hope and pray that you're doing well. Today as we come to our word from the word. And today that word is recall. Recall. Now, yesterday we talked about that word remember, and today similar looking at recall. And this is the second of the four little short prayers that we see in Nehemiah 13. And today I really want us to look. He's really trying to make these reforms and have things accomplished, get back things to the way that they ought to be, or get things back to the way they ought to be. I don't think I said that right the first time. And with that, he's trying to make sure he sanctifies the Sabbath. So if you look and read the context of everything from the prayer we left off yesterday to verse 22, and we're just going to look at the little short prayer today, but he's basically, you have these merchants that are coming, and he says, look, we're going to close the gates. Nobody's going to come on the Sabbath, and that's it. We're not going to allow anybody in. And these merchants still, after that, they come and they're kind of setting up outside the gates, thinking, okay, well, maybe we can sneak some ways in, or we can do this or that. And Nehemiah sees them, and he says they've done it once or twice. He said, but then I warned them, if you keep doing it, I'm going to put my hands on you. And I kind of hear this as the maybe not the threat that we would hear it today, and to think, oh man, I can't believe he would say that. No, that's how zealous he was for the Lord, and that's how zealous he was to accomplish the will of God and accomplish the word of God. And this is, remember the context, right? This is for the Israelite people, and what they were to be doing, and they had neglected it. That's what got them in trouble in the first place. So he's trying to set these reforms so that they don't fall back into those same traps and those same old way of life. So one of the things after he does all that, he calls out to the Lord again, and much like he said, remember what I have done. Here he kind of says the same thing, but in verse 22 of Nehemiah 13, looking at just the last half of that verse, he says, remember me, O my God, concerning this also, and spare me according to the greatness of your mercy. Now, I love the fact that he says, spare me, because that means that's almost an admission of guilt. And it doesn't mean that he was guilty himself, but like many other before him that were leaders, when they prayed, they said, forgive us, for we have sinned. They would always put themselves in that situation. When you think about Daniel, even as he was, we've gone over that recently on Wednesday nights, and one of the things that he would say, look, we have sinned, we have done wrong, and he was collectively as a group, not just singling out people. So here, when he says spare me, it's almost to say, okay, I know that we've all done wrong collectively. But Lord, would you spare me from these things? Would you spare me from the judgment because of what I have done? And he says, but it's not based on me. It's all based on you, Lord. And I think that right there is key as well. That we ask God to remember or to recall maybe what we have done, right? Remember me, O Lord. Recall what I have done for your kingdom. But with that, saying, it doesn't matter. I still know what I deserve. And even today, we can say, God, I know that I deserve hell. But Lord, I ask you to recall or remember that I gave my life to you, that I asked Jesus into my heart, that I said I was going to make him Lord of my life, that I believe all that you've done. Those ABCs I've talked about many times, right? We admit that we're sinners. We believe in Jesus Christ and all that the gospel preaches. And then we believe is in heaven today, but then we confess him as Lord. And so if we do those things, right, we're saying, Lord, remember me, spare me, but don't spare me according to what I deserve. No, spare me according to your mercy. Because see, if we ask him to be the righteous judge, then we'll all be in hell. But because Jesus Christ stepped in and took our place, then as the righteous judge, God says, you know what? I'm going to allow your punishment to be placed on Jesus. I'm going to allow your sin to be placed on him, and I'll accept his sacrifice if you will only believe and trust in him. You believe that he is who he says he is. Now, see, that still has nothing to do with us. It's all about his grace in giving us his son and his mercy and still not condemning us to hell if we've accepted his son. Now, you just stop and think about that for a moment. And if you do, then you'll begin to have these moments like Nehemiah did, where just in the middle of even doing work for the Lord, you'll just stop and say, God, I know how we failed. God, I know where we've fallen short. Lord, forgive us. Lord, remember us. Lord, recall your great mercy. God bless you, and I pray you have a great, great day.